Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Welcome to English grade 11. Students, today we are going to talk about summary skills. Yes, we are going to see that how we can write a very good objective summary. We know what a summary is. Let's look for our students' learning outcome and see what we are supposed to do. All right. Today we will learn that how we can provide an objective summary of a range of texts. Different texts, we are talking about both fiction and non-fiction and other types of texts as well. So now, focus on the word objective. It means that we have to make our summary as objective as we can make it. Now, let's start the lecture. Students, summary skills are very much important to have. It tells us, it shows our understanding and comprehension when we read a wide range of texts. When we read all the text, then we need to summarize it in a few lines. And this is what we call summary. We get the gist and then we write in our own words. Obviously, the important words in the original text is needed to be followed, but we cannot copy every text, every line as it is. We need to summarize it, make it understandable and clear if there is a confusing sentence or confusing message. So this tells us that we have read something and fully understood it so that we can summarize it in our own words. And all these things are called your summary skills. They are very much important in your daily life and also in your practical life as well. Summary is often required in examinations, in language proficiency tests and other tests as well. You are given a passage and then you are asked to summarize it. Now, let's talk about what a summary is. So by definition, a summary is a shortened version of a text. It means this is a text which is related to the original text that we have, that we read, but we shorten it and make a short, brief version of that text. And we can call it, the text that we will produce is the summary or the summarization of the whole text. It contains the main points. We cannot miss the main points in a text when we are summarizing it. And it is written in your own words. You can use your structure, you can use your words and phrases in order to describe the main points, and you have to stick it to the original text always. It is a mixture of shortening a long text to a short text and selecting only the relevant and important information. So, a good summary shows that you have understood and completely comprehended the text. Now, if I just read your summary of a long text, I should completely understand all the main points that is available in the original text. And this is the whole purpose of summarizing any text in your own words. Now, when we are talking about objective summary, it provides a concise and neutral overview of its main points and themes without incorporating or writing personal opinions or interpretation. It means that we have to be neutral. We cannot take sides of any opinion or anything, any controversial thing mentioned in the text, whether it's of religion or way of living or different theories as well. So we have to be neutral, not taking any sides. We are not going to inject our own interpretation and opinions. We are going to just write the overview of the main points, the main headings, the main key points that we find in the text, which are very much important. And we are also going to talk about what the theme is of the whole text and what is it talking about. Now, we are going to focus on presenting the essential information in a straightforward manner. Straightforward manner means that you are just going to work as an agent and present the text in a summarization, in a summarizing way. Without taking any side, you have to be very much neutral, not taking sides, leave all your opinions and interpretations, and also do not include your personal biases in the text. Now, when we are talking about writing an objective summary, we know that there are three main important components which make up a summary. That is the central idea, that includes the main topic or idea of the document or any text. So central idea is the idea, or it is the message that is spread all over the text. We are going to extract it and mention that central idea so that we are aware of the purpose of writing this text by the author. Then we have our supporting details, which are supporting the main idea or the central idea. And those supporting details will include facts that are mentioned or details that support the central idea. So we can clearly, in a very short way, write down all the main points that are leading us to the main idea. And then thirdly, the objective idea which is available in the text, or the pure facts without anyone's opinion. If there is a census done in the text, a fact mentioned over there, you have to present it as it is without actually contaminating it. Now, all these three components are very much important, and we have to achieve each one of them in our summary, in our objective summary. Now, we have over here a poem by Robert Frost called Stopping by Words on a Snowy Evening. It's a very famous poem. Let's go through that. And now, students, without being subjective, we are going to write its summary as well. Whose words these are? I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So this is the whole poem, students. You may have noticed there is repetition, but we do not repeat it in our shorter version of the poem. When we want to show what we have understood it, and then we will write our summary. And that has to be an objective summary. This is a very introspective, reflective, and emotional poem. But without going into that detail and sharing our opinions, we are just going to write and mention it as it is. Now, first, let us learn what is an objective versus subjective summary. Objective means verifiable information based on facts and evidence. All the information that you have in your objective summary can be verified. It can be cross-checked and totally and this is also based on facts and evidence. And this kind of summary will be your objective summary. Whereas, on the other hand, subjective means information or perspectives based on feelings, opinions, or emotions. So in this kind of summary, subjective summary, you will share your understanding, your interpretation, and your feelings. You can relate it with your real life experience, your worldview, your interpretation, and then you have to include all of them in your summary. And this will make your subjective summary. So the difference is very much clear now. Now I would like you to summarize this poem as an activity, but you have to be pretty much objective about it. Now, we know that the poet is on a horse, he's going away, and he's going into the woods. Now, he's describing and he's thinking whose woods these are. His house is in the village. He will not see me stopping by here. My horse started questioning with the body language that why are we stopping over here? There is no farmhouse. There are woods and frozen lake, and it is an evening of the year which is very dark. So you can just clearly state as it is and just write within few lines. You can mention the whole summary in your writing. All right. Now, what do we do? What are the things and steps that we need to be following when we want to write an objective summary? First, you will read the text completely, all of it. Do not miss anything, even if it's a prose or a long-lengthed poem. Secondly, you have to identify supporting details. Determine a central idea. Write your details and central idea in a factual summary that does not give any opinion or any bias. Now, by following these steps, you can successfully write an objective summary. Here is a Venn diagram which tells you differences and similarities between objective and subjective summary. So, an objective summary has to be neutral, it has to be specific or to the point. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. All these questions can be answered and written down. Does not use first person, so you have to use third person narrative or third person point of view. You will mention facts, figures, or any imagery. But on the other hand, when we are talking about subjective summary, your biases, your opinions can be included. You can talk in first or second person. You can use opinions, words, personal essays, book reviews, editorials. All these this type of text can be summarized in subjective summary. Now, both these kind of summaries has to be short, and it should be telling the whole account of the story. So even if it's a subjective summary, dear learners, it does not have to be very long. Keep the size as short as you can so that it looks like a summary, and try to avoid using the words that are mentioned in the original text as it is. If you copy the lines in your writing, then the summary will be invalid. Now, students, here goes your worksheet where you have to read this passage given over here from Harry Potter and then summarize the passage in very few lines, very few sentences, and try to make it objective. Now, after writing the summary, you have to check for objectivity. You have to review your summary, look for any opinion, any unnecessary sentence that does not give you any purpose in the summary. By following all these things, you can create a successful summary. Now, you are going to solve this worksheet, put your knowledge into practice, and that's all about today's lecture, students. Your objective summary and subjective summary, the difference should be very much clear. And if you are asked in your exam to write an objective summary, then you have to abide by the rules. Now, for practicing, you are given different resources. You can look for them. You can take any text, first write an subjective summary and then write its objective summary. Try to compare them together, and they should be very much different owing to all the differences that they have. I hope that the learning outcome for today is very much clear. Now, all you need to do is practice. Take text from your guides, from your books, or from any other source material, and then try to first read the paragraph, read the text clearly, and then summarize it in your own words. Thank you, students, for listening. I hope I'll meet you in the next video lesson. Till then, Practice your objective summary writing. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.